Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the J-League Player of the Month pack that's just been released on eFootball. It's a Nominating Contract pack. I will also be reviewing the other Nominating Contract packs in separate videos, so keep your eyes out for those videos. In this pack, we've got a mixture of 4-star and 3-star players. There's 3 3-stars and then 8 4-star players. So let's have a look at who we've got. And we'll start with the 3 stars. So we'll start with Morita. So we've had a few orchestrators over the last couple of months in these Nominating Contract packs. And we've got another one here. Another 3-star, and it's Morita from Tokyo Verdy. And he's pretty tiny, to be honest, for a 3-star. On the ball, he's by no means a dribbler. He's not the quickest, although his pace is reasonable. But he's not got great dribbling, but the ball control and tight possession are nice. That ball control is going over 90 with the game plan boost. For a 3-star, that's fantastic. Passing 87 is good. Again, for a 3-star card, that's especially good. As I mentioned, he's not the quickest, but that acceleration is decent. He's got low center of gravity as well, only 167 centimeters. So he's not a dribbler, he's not got great pace, but with a bit of acceleration about him, good ball control and tight possession, decent balance as well. For a little guy, I think he might feel pretty tidy on the ball. Stamina's pretty good as well for an orchestrator. One thing to keep in mind with this guy, as an orchestrator, he can play defensive mid and centre midfield, but he's also got attacking midfield and even SS. He can play both those positions without a play style active. I'm not sure I'd use him as an SS. I think the attacking awareness primarily puts me off that. He's also not got any shooting skills. We'll have a look at his skills. So, see, there's a bunch of skill moves there, even though he's not got great dribbling. Soul control is nice, and then he's got 1-touch pass, 3 passing, weighted pass. So he's going to have some lovely passing on him. Captaincy as well, nice bonus. But the passing skills are the most important ones. They really back up that 87 low pass. But yeah, like I say, as an SS, attacking mode is a bit low. 75 is not too bad for finishing, but without any shooting skills, I don't think he's going to be great as an SS. An attacking midfielder, yeah, I think he could definitely do that job. I think even though he's not much of a dribbler, technically he's certainly tidy enough. Really nice passing. And he's mobile enough, especially with that low centre of gravity. So as an attacking midfielder, he won't have a play style active, but if you don't mind that, I think he can certainly do a job there. And if you want to play him with that orchestrated playing style active as a centre midfielder or a defensive midfielder, I think he's pretty tidy. I think certainly as a centre midfielder, I think if you went to defensive midfield with him, as you saw the skills there, yes, he's got some nice passing skills, a few skill moves as well, but nothing defensively. So that's a concern for me. I don't think I'd personally want to put him in defensive midfield. He's a little guy, he's not got much physical contact, no defensive skills. The defensive attributes could be worse, but without anything else to back that up, I'll be a little anxious about having as a defensive midfielder. But certainly as a centre midfielder, as an orchestrator, I think he'd be pretty nice. I think physically he's good enough, even though he's not strong. You know, he's mobile enough, stamina's good, balance is good. And as I mentioned, technically he's really nice. So yeah, as a little kind of deep line playmaker, centre midfield, I think this guy's really nice for a 3-star. You could get away with him certainly as an attacking midfield, as I mentioned as well. So yeah, in 1 or 2 roles, I think this guy could be really good value for a 3-star contract. And now we have Nakano. So I've got a previous version of this guy. There was a Player of the Month version of him previously, and it was a cross specialist right midfielder. But the positions are the same on this one. It's just he's down as a right back, and he's got the attacking fullback playing style. So the thing with this guy, I'm not going to talk too long about him because you've got 3 positions you can play him in, and you just got to weigh up his attributes and his skills for each of those positions. And sadly, I just don't think he really cuts it in any of them, because as a right midfielder, he'll be playing without a play style, and these are the attributes you're looking at. As a right midfielder, he's horrible. He's horrible on the ball. To each their own, you know. If you don't mind the fact that these attributes are so low, sure, he's reasonable with his lofty pass. He's got pinpoint crossing. We'll look at the skills again in a second. Defensively, he's got some ability there. Pace, a bit of stamina, but let's be honest, as a right midfielder, you want a lot more on those attributes there on the ball. As a right back, again, even at right back, those attributes for me are too low. Some people wouldn't mind that too much. If you don't mind that, then good for you. But for me, I'll be petrified of him getting dispossessed and not being able to keep the ball under control in those defensive areas. So that for me is not good enough. You could just about get away with the passing there, but it's still not brilliant. Defensively, he's kind of okay. Not brilliant, but okay. Pace is fine for a fullback. Stamina's a little bit on the low side. But yeah, a lot of these attributes are okay for fullback, but like I say, that the low pass is a bit dodgy, and on the ball there, those attributes really concern me. But as I mentioned, we're going to look at the skills again. As a fullback, nothing defensively. No interception, man marking, aerial superiority, acrobatic clearance, nothing. No defensive skills. So with the weaknesses this guy's got as a fullback, as with the right midfielder, I just don't think he quite cuts it, unfortunately. And that leaves just centre-back. And I think it's pretty obvious he's not a centre-back. He's only got one of the attributes past 80 defensively. Physical contact's not brilliant for a centre-back. Jumping's not brilliant. Doesn't have aerial superiority. Doesn't have any defensive skills. So, yeah, he's got a few qualities here and there. You know, he's quick. He's got an okay cross on him. He's got a bit of defensive ability. But ultimately, for me, even on a 3-star contract, 3 positions he can play there, and I just don't think he cuts it in any of them. So for me, this is really not a great card. And now we've got a goalkeeper, Kamifukumoto. So this guy is good for a 3-star contract, in my opinion. I got a previous 3-star version of him, and that's been pretty tidy for me. I've not used it too many times in the J-League Challenge, but when I have done, it's been decent. And this is actually a better one. The attributes are just slightly higher on the whole, to be honest. And for a 3-star goalie, awareness 87, reflexes 88. If you've got a good enough manager, you're going to hit 90 on both the awareness and reflexes on a 3-star card. And that for a goalie is really, really good. Sure, the catching and parrying aren't brilliant, but they could be worse. Reach of 83. He is just shy of 6 foot, so he's a little bit short for a goalkeeper, but the reach is okay. Jumping 74, I'm not going to have the rant that I normally do about goalkeepers not be able to jump on these Player of the Month and Player of the Week cards. But yeah, it's not brilliant. So obviously reach is a bit of a concern, and it'd be nice if catching and parrying were higher, but it's a 3-star card. The 2 most important attributes are fantastic. So yeah, the version I've got has been okay for me. This one's a better one. So for me, you're looking at this guy as a J-League goalkeeper, because I don't think anyone's going to realistically use him outside of the J-League Challenge unless you just bought the game or just downloaded the game and you've not got any goalkeeper options. But yeah, for the J-League Challenge, I think this is a good goalkeeper card for 3 stars, and I think it's definitely worth using a 3-star contract on, and I'm going to be getting him for sure. And now we move on to the 4 stars, starting with Diego Oliveira. So again, I've got a previous version of this guy. We've got a bunch of players in this pack who we've had previous versions of. I think we're getting to a stage in the game where we've had that many Player of the Month packs from the J-League. We are going to start getting a lot of repetition. Diego Oliveira, there's been a deep-lying forward and a fox in the box previously, and they're pretty similar to this one, to be honest. There's not a huge amount of difference. There's a few stats slightly higher here and a few slightly lower. Skill-wise, the only real difference is that they're giving this one aerial superiority. Apart from that, he's pretty similar to the previous versions, to be honest, but that's a nice addition. So we've got heading already, acrobatic finishing, and now we've got aerial superiority. So he's going to be tidy from crosses. First time shot, an important one, obviously, in a striker. He's a fox in the box. I like that playing style. I think he's reasonably well suited to it. This isn't a brilliant centre forward card, but I think it's a usable one. I think when it comes to the J-League Challenge, again, I'm going to say this about most of these cards. You're looking at these cards primarily for the J-League Challenge, because not many of these cards are going to be good enough to use outside of it. But in that J-League Challenge, if you need a striker on form in any given week and this guy's got form, I think it looks reasonably tidy. The awareness isn't brilliant at 83, but it's higher than it has been on its previous versions. Finishing 85 is decent. Heading 86, that's higher than it has been. Jumping and physical contact, they'll both be over 80 when you get your game plan boost. And with aerial superiority, like I say, he's not huge, but with the attributes he's got and with aerial superiority, I think he should be decent from crosses. That physical strength as well when he's kind of holding up the ball. Not brilliant on the ball, but the physical strength will help. It's not quite as quick as the previous cards, I don't think, but speed's going to get to 80 with the game plan boost, so he's not the slowest either. He's quite, in my experience, a little bit cumbersome, but if you don't mind that, I think it just comes down to what kind of strike you like. If you like your players to be, your forwards to be nimble, you like to dribble with them, clearly he's not going to be your kind of striker, but if you like a striker who's a bit physical, he's got a little bit of everything, he's going to be able to get on the end of crosses and score with his feet. Like I say, I don't think this is an amazing card, but in that J-League Challenge, I think it's certainly a very usable one. So, not amazing, but certainly a pretty decent card on the whole. And now it comes to Nakatani. So, first of all, centre-backs. We've got a 4-star centre-back. Usually with the centre-backs they put in these packs, it seems like almost every time they put a centre-back in the pack, there's something about them that makes them unusable for me. Like, they'll be lacking important skills, or one of the attributes, like engagement, will be really low. We've got 2 centre-backs in this pack who are both pretty usable, actually. The first one's Nakatani. He's a build-up centre-back. I like that playing style personally. Down the left, he's okay. You can't expect too much on a centre-back, certainly on a 4-star card, but he's okay down the left. Down the middle, some pretty good attributes, to be honest. 87, 88, 85. If you like your centre-back to be more aggressive, obviously that 78 might concern you, but for me on a build-up centre-back, that's just fine. I don't mind that at all. The other attributes, like I say, are good. Pace, not the quickest, but he's not the slowest either. You can get away with that. Jumping and physical, again, they're decent enough. Jumping is the one real concern, to be honest. He's 182, same as the goalie, just shy of 6 foot, so he's not the tallest for a centre-back. And as we're about to see, he does not have aerial superiority. So that's the one real weakness with this guy. You do get that with some centre-backs in the J-League. So aerially, if your opponent's got a big physical striker, he's putting crosses and long balls in towards the striker, he's going to be a bit of a concern for you. But that's the only real concern I've got. It'd be nice if he had blocker as well, but he does have interception and man marking. Those are two very important ones in the centre back. Low lofted pass and weighted pass are nice bonuses to have in the centre back as well. He's got heading, sliding tackle, fighting spirit. Like I say, blocker would be nice. Aerial superiority is the one real concern for me, but outside of that, the physical contact's good. The core defensive attributes are good. His passing's pretty decent for a centre back, especially on a 4-star one. For me, obviously the height, the aerial ability is a bit of a concern, but outside of that, I think for a 4-star contract, looking at this guy as someone to use in the J League Challenge, I think it's actually a pretty solid card. I think this is decent value for a 4-star contract. And now we have a whole player attacking midfielder. We've got Morishima from Nagoya. So again, we've got a guy who's all about his technical ability in terms of his end product, his passing, but he's not much of a dribbler. So you're not going to be doing a lot of dribbling past players, with the dribbling not being much higher than that, pace not being great, but ball control's pretty good, and that passing is really, really nice. So this is only a 4-star card, but 90 low pass before your game plan boost, so you're going to get that up to 92, 93. I quite like the look of this guy. I'm not sure how good he's going to be on the ball, because without him having better dribbling and pace, he's obviously not got much physical contact. He's not a big guy, he's an attacking player, but he's not got much balance either. You're going to need to be careful with this guy. You're going to want to get the ball and pick a pass as quick as you can, because as soon as you start getting put under pressure by defenders, it might be difficult to hold onto the ball. We have a quick look at his skills here. He does have one-touch pass, through passing, low-loaded pass, so he's got some very nice passing. Those skills will back up his passing attribute really nicely. Soul control is nice as well. Yeah, I think it just comes down to another one of these players. It comes down to what you want from a player of this type. Do you want a guy who's going to be good at dribbling, going to be able to glide past defenders? This isn't your guy. He's not got the pace or the dribbling ability, but if you like a midfielder who you just want to get him on the ball, keep it simple, pick a pass, his passing is going to be fantastic. For a 4-star card, 90 low pass, he's got the skills to back it up, really, really nice. As a whole player, you can play him down the left, but I don't think he's got the pace or the dribbling ability to do that. Not good enough defensively to play centre mid, in my opinion, unless you got one or two defensive midfielders behind him, in which case you might as well make him an attacking mid. That's the position for me. Attacking midfield, whole player, make him runs forward. When he gets into good positions, feed him, and then just pick a pass, because he's about as capable as any 4-star player is going to be of creating chances and playing lovely through balls. So yeah, not a brilliant card by any means, and he's not going to be for everyone. The dribblers probably won't like this guy, but if like I say, if you like a midfielder, you want to keep it simple with him and just focus on his ability to pick up the ball and play a really nice through ball, I think this guy could be very effective in the right hands. Now we have our next striker. We've got another one after this as well. So we've got Léo Ceará. We've had a couple of Léo Cearás in the past. He's a deep lying forward now. I've got a version of him that's a goal poacher, and it's not bad. It's kind of a bit of an all-rounder, and this guy's pretty much the same. He's a bit of an all-rounder, but this time he's a deep lying forward. It's personal preference. I personally don't like that playing style. They're just so passive. They kind of drop deep. They want to get involved in the build-up, and they're quite late making their runs into the box, and I don't like that. If you're going to play a deep lying forward, in my opinion, you need someone alongside him, like a goal poacher, to be making runs ahead of him. So it comes down to preference whether that play style works for you. If it does work for you, I think this card on the whole is just kind of all right. You know, you look around and you think, okay, awareness 83 could be worse. It's not brilliant. Just about okay. Finishing 82, likewise, you know, it's just about okay. It's not brilliant though. On the ball, okay, he's got 80 ball control. That's nice. Not brilliant elsewhere, but you can kind of get away with it. Passing for a striker is actually pretty decent, especially on a deep line forward. That's important. That low pass will go past 80 with the game plan boost. That's probably the biggest strength he's got, that passing for me. Pace, pretty average. He's not the quickest, but he's not the slowest either. Good kicking power. With a good enough manager, he should get up to 90, I think. A bit of a jump on him with 82. And the balance will hit 80 with the game plan boost as well. But that jumping 82, he doesn't have aerial superiority, but he does have heading. So he might be able to get on the end of 1 or 2 crosses, albeit he's not going to be dominant in the air by any means. He's got first time shot, he's got long range curler. Interestingly, he's got through passing. He's not had that previously. So through passing was 79 for low pass. Your game plan boost will see him go past 80 for low pass with through passing. So on a deep line forward, that does work well. But again, he's not rapid. He doesn't have great dribbling. It just depends what you want from a striker with that playing style. If that playing style works for you, if you just want a striker who's got a bit of everything, he's got the ability to pick a pass when he drops deep into the build up, and then when he gets forward, a little bit of awareness and finishing to take chances. He's decent, but to be honest, I can't say he's any better than decent, because there's nothing really here in his attributes apart from that passing being quite nice for a striker. Nothing really stands out. I can't really say he's amazing at this or amazing at that. He's just kind of okay all around, and I don't really want someone who's just okay for a 4-star contract. I'd like to have someone a bit better than that. So yeah, this card doesn't really excite me, to be honest, but if that playing style suits you, if you like this type of striker, you like a striker with a bit of passing with that playing style, he could work for you. But I think for a lot of people, it's just not the most exciting striker, to be honest. Now we have another centre-back. So we've got Matheus Thuler. Again, we've had a previous version of him in Player of the Month. This one's better. I think the previous one was a 3-star. This is definitely an upgrade. As you can see here, he's not quite got the attributes of Nakatani, the other centre-back in this pack, but he's a lot more aggressive. The other one's slightly lower, but still pretty solid defensive attributes on the whole. Down the right-hand side, again, the pace, pretty average for a centre-back. He's not rapid, but he's not too slow either. Physical contact 86 is decent. Jumping 81, as you'll see though, he does have aerial superiority, so he has that over Nakatani. He's a bit tall as well, 6'1". So if you want to put more kind of emphasis on a centre back's aerial ability, then I think out of the 2 4-star centre backs we looked at in this pack, this guy will get the nod over you. I think Nakatani is just a little bit better technically. Really, there's not a lot of difference, so they're both pretty solid. But elsewhere, we've got interception and blocker. The only skill that's really lacking for me that I think you would really miss in the centre-back is man marking. I do think that's quite important, but he does have interception and blocker, and like I say, aerial superiority. Acrobatic clearance as well, fighting spirit, low lofted pass, a nice bonus. Not quite as good as Nakatani, like I say, technically, but still not too bad. Just a solid centre-back, to be honest, for me. I think with both these centre-backs, they're both pretty solid all around. I think Nakatani is just a little bit better with his defensive attributes, a little bit better technically, whereas this guy is just a little bit better built. Physically for tussles with bigger, taller strikers if your opponent's putting crosses and long balls in. So yeah, as with Nakatani, not perfect by any means, but I think for a 4-star contract you can do a lot worse, especially for the J League challenge. So it's a solid 4-star centre back. Now we have Nasang Ho from Machida Zelvia. They've been flying high at top of the league, only just been promoted. So we've got a whole player. Right midfield, he can play right mid, left mid, or he can play as a wide forward, right or left. Whole player will only be an active playing style, right midfield and left midfield. It won't be active as a wide forward. I think it'll still be pretty effective in those 2 positions. What we've got pace, we've got some decent dribbling, and we've got a little bit of end product as well. So you've really got 2 ways you can use him. If you put him on the right hand side, lofted pass 82, as you see from the skills, he's got pinpoint crossing. On the right, he can put some crosses in for you. Coming off the left flank, you're going to focus more on his shooting. Finishing 83 is very nice for a wide player. He's got first time shot. Doesn't have long range drive. That's a bit of a shame, to be honest, but soul control is a nice one. Dipping shot, acrobatic finishing, first time shot. And then one touch passing, through passing as well. But with one touch passing, through passing, they're just going to make his low pass slightly better. And it's really not particularly good. So I don't think you're going to get particularly great passing from him, but certainly those skills will help to improve that slightly. But I think the emphasis with this guy is going to be on putting crosses in from the right-hand side, or if you play him on the left, just cut inside, get into a good position, get some shots away. With that first-time shot and 83 for finishing, he's going to be pretty capable, pretty tidy for a 4-star card. It would be nice if his ball control and tight possession were higher. I think especially with tight possession, you will notice that a bit, but the dribbling is good at 85. Attacking awareness is getting to 80 with the game plan boost. Like I say, he's rapid. He does lack a bit of balance. He's a small guy, 173 centimeters, not much physical contact, so he's quite small and weak, and without any more balance than that, you're gonna need to be careful. Try and make use of his pace and dribbling to evade defenders, because when you start getting put under pressure and defenders start getting up close and getting physical with you, it's going to be quite difficult to keep hold of the ball. But he's got some qualities, like I say. Not much stamina there. He's not a super sub, so you could by all means bring him off the bench anyways. You don't need the super sub skill. But if you start him, yeah, he's going to get tired. Probably by the hour mark, he's going to be knackered, to be honest. So keep that in mind, the lack of stamina. And again, that balance is a bit disappointing. 1 or 2 technicals down here, not the best. But I think with the qualities he's got, certainly that fantastic pace, some very, very nice dribbling, a little bit of crossing ability from the right-hand side, and certainly the shooting ability cutting in from the left or from the right, of course. He's tidy, to be honest. You want rapid players you can dribble with. I think this could be a tidy one to use. You can use him on either flank. A bit of end product, as long as you're careful to, and you keep in mind the weaknesses he's got. I think at the right hands, if this is the kind of player that suits you, it could be a fun card to pick up for 4 stars. Could be decent value for you. So, we have another Atsuki Ito. So we've had a couple of Player of the Month versions. I got one from the Player of the Season box. It's one of those beefy pay to win ones. He goes up to about 94, 95. But to be honest, even that one that I've got isn't much better than the previous 4-star that was in Player of the Month. And this one's similar as well. This is a decent card. If you've not got a version of him, then when the J League Challenge comes around, this is a very, very decent midfielder. The one key difference with this one, they made him a box-to-box. I think his regular card might be a box-to-box now, but he's previously been a orchestrator. I think he was a destroyer at one point as well. I personally, if you were going to compare this card to his previous Player of the Month, I would say that the previous one is slightly better, to be honest. I think the attributes on that previous one are just a little bit better on the whole. On the ball, actually on the ball, not a lot of difference, but the passing on the previous one's a little bit better. Defensively, maybe slightly better. He had a little bit more pace about him, and down here, one or two of these are a bit better as well. So if you're comparing this one to his previous one, if you got the previous one, I don't think this one's quite as good. It might just come down to the play style, because there's not a lot of difference in the attributes, but if that play style appeals to you a lot more, definitely worth getting him. If you didn't get the previous version of him, then again, for the J League Challenge, I think worth getting, because he's tidy on the ball, his passing is decent, not amazing, but decent. Defensively, he's not brilliant, but he's okay, and aggression and engagement will get 80 with the game plan boost. He's quite a big guy, one of the bigger midfielders in the J League. Like I say, the previous version is a bit better around here. One or two of the attributes are a bit higher. It's a bit of a shame. I'd like a bit more physical contact and balance, maybe. Stamina as well. If you're going to make him a box-to-box, 84 for stamina, I'd like a bit more. That's a bit of a shame, because for a box-to-box centre midfielder, he will get a bit tired late in the game. So keep an eye on that. If we look at the skills, similar to what he's had previously, they always mix it up slightly, but I think on a box-to-box centre mid, you've got the most important ones here. You've got one-touch pass, you've got through passing, low lofted pass is nice, and you've got trap back, you've got interception, very important one, sliding tackle. You've got the most important ones, a bit of everything there. First time shot and accurate finishing as well, if he does get into the opposition box. Handy skills to have, but he's got the important ones. Oh, where am I going? He's got the important ones. So yeah, tidy centre mid, box to box. Nothing amazing about him, and like I say, if you're not too bothered about the playstyle, I think the previous version, if you got it, the 4-star orchestrator, is slightly better than this one. But if you didn't get that one, or if you really want a box-to-box version, I think it's just a solid centre midfielder. But keep an eye on that stamina. That's the one real disappointment for me, to be honest. But yeah, solid centre midfield, box-to-box. And if you've not got a previous one, might be worth looking at. And we finish up with Yuma. So I like this guy. I used to sign him in Master League. He was a lovely little bargain. Young striker to put up front. He's been in Europe for a bit, and now he's back in Japan. He's doing well. He's been in really good form, hence why he's in this pack. There was a previous 4-star version of him. There was a 3-star version, which I had. And then there was a 4-star version, which I also have. And that was an upgrade. And to be honest, this is really similar to the previous one. For me personally, I'm looking at this just as a contract renewal, to be honest, because there's really not much difference. If you got that previous one like me, if you like it, then yeah, like I say, picking this one up just means you get another year of contract on him. What he's good at is pretty clear. He's got the awareness and the finishing. He can take chances with his feet, but obviously with his head as well. 86 heading, the jumping and physical, they're not amazing, but he's 5'11", and he has aerial superiority. So he is decent from crosses. He's not dominant. He's not amazing in the air, but he will win headers. He will score from crosses. Acrobatic finishing as well with heading up there. First time shot, one-touch pass. I personally think I should have given him through passing. I think even though he's not the most blessed player technically, he can pick a pass. I've seen him play through passes when I watched the J League, so I think it's a bit... They've done him a bit dirty, just giving him one-touch pass. I think he deserved through passing as well. Pinpoint crossing, I guess I didn't watch the match where he played a pinpoint cross, because I don't think I've ever seen him play a pinpoint cross. But I won't complain, because he's got the important ones. First time shot, heading, acrobatic finishing, aerial superiority, one-touch pass, a nice bonus. He's not rapid. He's obviously not great technically. I mentioned that. That's the one real issue with this, with Suzuki. The only one real weakness with him. He's not great on the ball. Be careful. His balance isn't too great either. So don't start trying to dribble with him or anything like that. When you get the ball with this guy, keep it simple. Don't start trying to dribble past defenders or anything like that, twisting and turning or any of that stuff. Just get the ball, pick a pass or pick a shot, get rid of it. As long as you're careful with him like that, the awareness, the finishing, the other attributes he's got a bit of everything. He's good from crosses. He can finish with his feet. If he's your kind of striker, lovely. He's well worth a 4-star contract in my opinion. So out of the 3 4-star contracts in this pack, 3 4-star strikers in this pack, I personally think he's the best. They're all all decent in different ways, to be honest, but I like this guy. I think he's good value for a 4-star contract, and I'm going to be getting him just as a 1-year renewal, like I say. So, yeah, there you go. It's, I think, a decent pack. I think we've had 1 or 2 dodgy nominating contract packs over the last couple of months, but I think this one's a bit more like it. It's not amazing by any means. There's not a lot of cards in there to get too excited about for me, but I think Morita and Kamifukumoto are 2 very good value 3-star for a 3-star contract. And then outside of that, you've got 2 4-star centre backs who I think are very solid for a 4-star contract. You've got 3 centre forwards for a 4-star contract who, depending on what kind of striker you like, I think they could all be useful for certain people. I think they're all pretty viable, those 3. Morishima, as long as you don't mind the fact he can't dribble particularly well. If you're if you're a real dribbler, then I don't think he's going to be for you, obviously. But if you just want a midfielder to keep it simple, pick a pass, I think he's got some qualities. That guy, really nice passing. And this guy could be pretty dangerous on either flank as well. Now Sangho. And then Ito, like I say, if you've not got a previous version, could be a really solid sentiment to pick up for the J League Challenge. And even if you've got a version, you might want to pick up this one to have a box-to-box variant as well. So, yeah, some decent cards in there. None in there that really jump out and they're amazing to me, but certainly quite a few in there I think could be pretty good value for your nominating contracts. So, as I mentioned at the start, I'm going to be reviewing the other packs in separate videos. There's the Brazilian League one, there's the National Players one, and I'll do one reviewing the 2 new Match Pass players and giving you my overall recommendations for who I think is the best player for your 3, 4, and 5-star contracts across all these packs. So keep your eyes peeled for those videos. There's going to be a bunch of videos come out soon, especially pack reviews over the next few days on the channel. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found that useful. Thank you for watching as always. I'll see you soon.